I know, I have way too much fun with the music. I'm sure Tina's back there, she's backstage dancing, I have no doubt. All right, we're just gonna take 10 seconds here and enjoy this. This is way better music than I had on Thursday. Way better music than I had on Thursday. I do need to get StreamYard to get some more options here. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Camera. I am your host, Jamie Hain. If we haven't met, it's great to have you here. I am all about helping you get on camera as a way to help you grow your business. But growing your business is much more than just video. It's much more than just getting on camera. And so the purpose of this show is to bring in guest experts that help you grow your business in ways beyond the camera. So today, I'm so excited for today's topic. I know you are as well. I was chatting with Tina before we got started, and I said, I feel like this is going to be one of those ones where the comments and the questions are just out of control because everybody wants to know more about this particular subject. And we are talking about reels and stories, or stories and reels, whichever order is the right way to say that. So here's what I want to know for those of you that are on with us live, and even if you are watching the recording, okay, hashtag replay. I still want you to play along. Okay, so I had a post in the group asking about, or I guess Tina was asking, where's your current level with reels and stories? So here's my ask. Are you a beginner? Are you kind of like intermediate, meaning you kind of dabble, like maybe you've done one, but you're not consistent and you really don't know what you're doing? Or are you like, I'm a pro, I don't even know I'm here, I could be teaching this? Which level are you? Beginner, dabbler, or pro? And I'd also like to know, here I am breaking my own rules with all the questions, but this is my show, I can break my own rules, right? Are you on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok with the reels and the stories that you're doing? So put those in the comments and we're going to come back to them. It'll be the first thing we do here after I introduce our guest. Where are my manners? All right. So please join me today in not only welcoming Tina Davis, but thanking her for doing this session for us because you all have asked me about this repeatedly and here we are delivering it. So put your hands together. Yay, yay, yay. Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hello, everyone. I am Tina Davis, and I am in San Antonio, Texas today, where it's 81 degrees, but I'm in a vest because I spilled formula on my shirt. So here we are. The show must go on. Am I right?
The show must go on. Yes.
I am watching some of the comments come through, and I'm excited to talk about reels and stories and the differences and when it's appropriate to use either or both. I look forward to talking to you really about all things short form video because, it does go across from Meta to TikTok, but we haven't mentioned YouTube Shorts, but they're all the same clip length, right?
So
we're going to talk about the video, like the short form video. Yay, Kimber's from San Antonio too. See, I'm not alone.
No. Okay, but before we get into it, you have formula on yourself. Tell everyone why. Why do you have formula all over your shirt?
Yeah, I was trying to feed a baby bat and the syringe is really small and it just got away from me. And so that's just part one of 123 other wildlife. I'm a wildlife rehabber, y'all. I don't just snatch babies out the wild, but I have possums and skunks and raccoons and now a baby bat.
And soon maybe a baby bunny coming.
Oh, I do have 2 cottontails and I've got a third one that should be delivered by the finder this afternoon. Yeah. A tortoise.
And a tortoise.
Yeah, he's out there.
I love Tina's content. I follow Tina on multiple different platforms, mostly Instagram, right? That's mostly where your jam is. Yeah. And I love all the babies. And it's Kim loves bats. Are you seeing this, Tina?
Yes, I am seeing that. Who doesn't love bats?
That would be me.
This because you haven't met one yet.
Maybe so. Maybe I need to come visit the baby bat. Yeah. All right. Before we get into questions, let's just do a peek here at what everybody put in. Okay. Why is my mouse not working? It did this the other day.
It needs rehab. Bring it to the rehab.
It needs something. That is for sure. It's for sure. Okay. I love that everybody's here. Okay. So we're seeing an intermediate, another intermediate, a beginner, another intermediate or dabbler. And then mostly, let's see, Facebook, Instagram, debating on TikTok, ADHD. We can talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Facebook and Instagram, beginner. So we've got the only thing I'm not seeing is pros. So you all are in the right place. That's for sure. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So let's just get right to it.
Sure.
How are stories and reels different from posts and videos, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram? How do we have to think about them differently?
Sure. So stories and reels actually belong to two different algorithms. So a reel is going to be pushed to non-followers based on reactions and engagement, and that is really the device or the pathway for growth.
Okay.
It's more of the entertaining and educational type outlet for folks that are using short form video for that little vice. But stories, again, separate, algorithm, that's for nurturing. That is shown to your followers and only your followers, unless it is shared, right? But it is shown to your followers. And it's really the more authentic, it's supposed to be really the more authentic connection building. So you want to tell your stories. That's what it's for. It's to build a connection. So one is for growth and one is to develop that know, like, and trust. So they do run on different algorithms. We'll talk about those.
A story can still be a video.
A story should, it can still be a video. It's best when they are videos. You can even share your reels there. We want to make sure we follow some of those rules in a minute, but yeah, it can definitely be video, and especially since this is a get on video kind of group.
Yeah. Embrace that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So since we're separating them, stories versus reels, let's pull them apart. Let's talk about stories first. What makes a good story? I mean, you kind of talked about it a little bit, that it should be more about, like, I'm just going to let you explain, because I'll murder this answer. What makes a good story?
A good story is authentic. You want to be authentic. Yes, you need that hook and you need that entertainment or educational value. And it could just be a day in the life, but it really needs to be authentic. When you start finding yourself in stories, what are you really looking at? The connection. You want to see the behind the scenes, and maybe you use stories to show a little bit of behind the scenes of your day, what's coming up in a launch or a release, all the bloopers or the stuff like spilling that happened throughout your day. You're connecting as a human, as a person, not as this super polished robot, which you're probably putting out in your content on a regular basis. This is where you become a human again. Wow. And that's what's really important in stories. Don't curate it.
Don't curate it. Just what's happening right now in my life is what stories are about. Okay. And so what makes a good reel then?
A good reel is pretty much everything you tell us. You need a hook. A good reel has a good hook. Get me in there quick. You have seconds, fractions of one at the beginning. Get that hook in and then provide value, because we are quick to go to the next one on reels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And yes, right. And 81% of the time when people are using their social media, they are doing it without the audio on. So it's the second piece of a good story, a good reel and a story, is the hook is one, captions or giving me content that I can consume without my audio. Now, I might have my audio on. I might come back to it if I saved it, but you need to be able to get me in there with your hook and some sort of visual. So if you're dancing, dance hard. If you're putting text on the screen, make it clean, make it clear, and make it up front. But I want to see that hook and that connection and words in the beginning. And then
the hook could also be something, on camera. So just something because if people are sitting back, I say this all the time with your live videos, if people are sitting back and scrolling, you got to do something to stop that scroll. And if they're not listening, it's going to have to be either the captions or something on screen to make people be like, what is happening? Right? Like, I don't know, a baby skunk or a baby bat. Yeah. That would stop me. Okay. Okay. So there's a couple, let me go to a question and then I'll come back to, what else we got? Can you share a reel to a story?
Yes. In fact, the stories, when you play the reels on the story, that actually counts as a view for the reel, right? Mm-hmm. And it can be engagement as a story, but don't just post the reel. You want to apply things to it. Maybe you want to apply a poll or a sticker. Use the other tools that Instagram uses. What you do not want to do is put something over the whole reel and say new reel. That is not a thing anymore. Stop doing that. You're hurting yourself because people just move on. They want to get value out of the stories because some folks only spend time in stories and they look at the reels and stuff later, right? So you want to use the time you have wisely. So yes, you can share them. Don't share everyone, and go back and share your most better performing reel. And I touch my nose a lot, folks, because I touch a lot of animals. It's just what it's like here.
You're fine.
I woke up the skunk and now I'm paying for it. But you want to make sure that they have value. So stickers, polls, questions, maybe do a clip of the reel, right? Because you're not going to get the whole reel. And then next time you post, you're going to follow up with a point from that reel.
Got it.
Okay.
Got
So
it.
yes, definitely
So,
share.
You've talked about timing a couple of points. What's the length of a story in a reel? How much time are we talking about?
Okay, so they differ depending on your account.
Okay.
Even if you're all business accounts, because that's what I'm going to assume everyone is, because we're all businesses here, you will have different, because there's beta and there's different levels of the meta program. So you might have the, 60-second reel. I mean, the 60-second story. You might have the 90-second story. You might have a 2-minute reel. It depends on your account.
Okay.
But what we do know is that a 15-second reel is a lot of time.
Okay.
You're going to want to stay in that 6 to 7 unless you're delivering a lot of value. Then you can make it longer. But you want to remember how the algorithm treats it. If they leave the reel early, it's not as favored. So you want to pack the information in up front. Stories have a different algorithm, but it's the same. If they don't get their point across, then they could go to the next one, tab next.
Right.
You want to make it short enough to where they can get a little of a point, but stretch it out. We're going to stretch it out in a little while as far as stories.
Got it.
But
Got it.
even
Okay.
if you have the time, use it wisely because you don't want to hurt yourself with the non-watch time.
So no matter how much time you have, shorter is better.
Yes, it is shorter
is
content.
better. And listen, you all know you've done this where you are watching a reel and you are like, oh my gosh, this is boring. And
Yes.
you don't fast forward. You just scroll on by.
Right.
So very, very, very good point. Okay. Okay. So earlier you talked about that reels are about growing your audience and stories are about nurturing your audience. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that because I think I followed you, but so I'm feeling like we really should be doing both.
Yes, you should do both. They do completely different things. And they target two completely different sets of people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like I was home not that long ago. I mean, I guess that's not the point. I'm on a tangent. And my nieces and nephews were like, they were talking about Instagram. They're like, nobody looks at posts anymore. It's only reels and stories. Is that true? Like that's predominantly where people spend their time on Instagram?
Not anymore. In the last year, we've noticed that the static posts, which we're going to call static because they don't move, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the photos, the posts, and the carousels, they are picking up steam because of what Instagram themselves is doing to push them.
Got it.
So, and that's a different topic. But no, it is not just reels and stories anymore. But for growth, it is very much reels. For building that connection, it's very much stories. The other posts have a different purpose.
Got it. So if I'm wanting to grow and get more audience, I need to be doing reels. If I'm wanting to nurture my existing audience, I need to be stories. And since we're probably doing both, you got to do all of it. And we've been talking mostly about Instagram. But so let's talk a minute about Instagram and Facebook.
Sure.
So because you can have stories and reels on Facebook and on Instagram. Are they different? Are they the same? What's the right strategy in there?
They should be the same because you are trying to build your following across multiple platforms, but you don't need to build this whole library of content. So as long as your Instagram is connected to your Facebook appropriately, then you can share in one place and it goes to the other. And since you're a business, you can be doing the scheduling and things like that to go to both. The algorithms are very, very similar. There's more lax on Facebook side, but it is one thing. It's just Meta.
Okay. Got it. It's all one company now. So
yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk about creating them here in a second, but once you create either the reel or story, you should publish them on both platforms, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, you should never have to think about it because your setting is always set to do that.
It
Just
should automatically do
set
that.
it and
Okay, so
forget
that's a
it.
good lesson. Make sure your setting is there so you don't have to overthink this, right?
Right. The only
And that's
time you might get a little just sticky is if you're a business, you shouldn't be using copywritten audio, right?
right.
And there are ways to reuse somebody else's audio that won't translate to Facebook. So there might be some times where you've reused somebody's audio and it doesn't go to Facebook. That's just a setting. Just move on. You don't have to go and try to recreate on Facebook. Just move on.
Got it. Just keep going.
Yeah.
So, okay, I know we're going to talk about creating, but before we do that, how many of these should I be doing in a day? How many stories? How many reels? I mean, I hear all sorts of. It's frightening what I hear, right?
Yeah.
I hear one a day. I hear whatever you can be consistent with, and then I hear if you really want to grow, you need to be doing 4 a day. So, is there an answer, a recommendation?
For growth, the more you post, the more you grow. Those are facts. For reality's sake, if you can do 2 reels a week, you're doing better than you were yesterday, right?
Yes, that's a great
Okay.
point.
Now, when it comes to stories, stories is different. You need to be consistent, but you have to also consider that weekends are dead zones. Don't worry about social on the weekends. That's
Okay.
not when social is being used. That's when people are taking photos to post all week long. So just leave the weekends out, give yourself a break. But stories, when you're nurturing, you should be nurturing throughout every day. And that weekend gives you a 24-hour reset. What's longer than that, but you need a 24-hour reset. And so stories, we're going to talk about trying to do 5 a day. Now, keep in mind, they're going to be short clips, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Might be part of some things you need to do as homework, but there's more of a reason to be present on stories that way because it is nurturing the existing audience. It has a very short lifespan of just 24 hours. So if you can consistently do only 2 stories a day, then you need to do your 2, and they can be a little bit longer. If you can commit to the 5, do the 5, but you're not gonna do them all at once. You're gonna spread them out throughout the day, and we're gonna talk about why.
Okay. Good. Oh, so good. We can spend hours on this stuff.
Yep.
Okay, let's do a couple questions, and then we'll come back to to my questions. Okay. All right. So we did Sherry's a real story. Okay. So here's the next one. Can you do reels in a group, or is it
No? You can't do reels only in a group.
I don't think you can.
No. Reels are all 3 of my screens went blank. Reels are across your whole platform, and you can't isolate them.
Okay, so I'm guessing this is the same person. I can't see a place for reels on my personal page, only in my group.
That could be a setting that you have placed, but that's a personal page in Facebook isn't the same as your personal account. So reels actually start on the Instagram side and push through. So you would probably need to be focusing on your Instagram side and having it push through because that's a different type of setting.
Okay, so let's get to that. So where do I start? I mean, because we haven't even started talking about TikTok.
Right.
So if I'm sitting here and I'm like, we'll just use me as an example. We can all make fun of me. Okay. So I'm on Facebook. I have it set so that my posts on Facebook go to my Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So every once in a blue moon, I will put a story out. I used to do reels all the time for my dog's page, but I haven't done my own. Where do I start? What should I start with, and where do I create these things?
I would say, hands down, start an Instagram.
Okay.
Because the algorithm is going to appreciate using the platform tools. Okay. So if you're doing it anywhere else, it's going to be less favorable.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So if you're just starting, create them on Instagram.
Right. And post them in Instagram.
And have it auto feed over into Facebook. And that's where you start. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And when you say you create them on Instagram, it's a button you click and you create it right there, right?
Right. You create it in Instagram and you can use the editors in Instagram.
Okay.
You can also create them with tools outside of Instagram. There's CapCut that is owned by TikTok, and there's like InVideo and other things, because you do not want to create something in a platform and then download it and try to use it on other platforms. Yes, there are watermarks, and you can say, "Oh, I can use a tool to take out that watermark," but hun, you can't take out the metadata.
You
Okay,
can.
that's permanent. They
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you create it in Instagram, which Instagram will favor, don't use that in the TikTok. Well, you can.
Yeah.
No, TikTok doesn't care as much, but you don't want to do that. You want to create it with no watermark.
You don't want to
do
create it.
editing.
You don't want to create it in TikTok, download it, and put it on Instagram. Redo it.
Never do it that way.
Okay. Never do it that way.
You're going to break the rules and use a watermark. Don't do it on the Instagram. Instagram can see the watermark and they can see the metadata. So if you use a fancy tool to strip the watermark, they already know, and it will push you down.
They are stinkers. Okay. All right. So here's a question coming in. Is it better to post from your phone or computer?
Well, on Instagram, you're not going to have a lot of tools to do it on the computer. You can post static posts, but you can't do much else. So you would need to do it from your phone. Now, there are caveats to this that are not Instagram tools. There are platforms that you can upload and schedule everything through, including Reels. Like if you use a program called Later, this is not a free tool. It's a scheduling tool, which you can schedule out your whole month. And you can do it from your desktop. In fact, it only works from your desktop.
Okay.
So you can do that there. But it's preferred if you do it through your phone. Now, they're building out Meta Business Suite to allow for Reels to be posted there. So give it some time. But this is just where we are right now. If you really, really want to use a computer, get the program called Later.
Later. Later. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about Adobe Premiere Pro? Which, by the way, Nadia, I have Adobe Premiere Pro and I love it. So I never thought of doing it reel there. Yeah. What about you doing something like that? Would that work too? Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure anything you use, if you put in audio anywhere outside of the tool, just make sure it's right free. You know, the rights are free rights, copyright. You know what I'm saying? I'm not using words.
Yeah. So if you create, I mean, because I do remember this happening again. This is Otis's page where I created a reel on Instagram with music, and then there was no music when it got over to Facebook. So that's what you're talking about. That's a copyright thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if and when that happens, don't delete it. Don't redo it. Just let it go. There's just no music. How do you
move on?
Yeah. How do you know whether or not a song is copyrighted or not when you're creating it? Is there a way?
Sometimes there's a way in Instagram when you're going to select it and you don't see the share, but you don't see the use audio, or when you go to use it, it's a lot lower volume.
Oh,
like you can tell that when you listen to it, it's up really high. And when you go to use it, it's like half volume. That's telling you, nay.
Something's off.
And sometimes it has to be reported by the writer or composer, so it might be a while down the road before they take it off of your,
because they may not know. It could be days or weeks before the artist understands that that's happening.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's usually found by artificial intelligence, and so sometimes they'll pull it down not knowing that it was changed, but they just don't put it back.
Okay. So another question is there a site to get music that's not copyrighted other than the native whatever's in Instagram?
Yes, there are. I pretty much use just Shutterstock because it's a one-stop shop for me to do my video and photos. But there are several. There are a lot of free sites, but you can also use, if you use Canva, they have copyright-free music. There's ways to do it without having to get another app.
Something else. I was going to ask that too. So just like the question before about Adobe Premiere Pro, you can create reels and stories in Canva, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderfully with templates.
Yeah.
Yes. And all the AI that they just released a couple months ago. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay. So there you go. You don't have to. And this is mostly about like, just get started. Can you go fancy? Sure you can. But just start with what you got, right?
Yes.
If you're just getting started.
If you're worried about being, perfect, Canva couldn't make it more perfect. I mean, my goodness. Just jump in there, throw your video in and go. Yeah. Sherry says the same thing. Canva. Yes, you're welcome, Sherry. I know Sherry likes Canva. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I know we've talked about a bunch of stuff, and I want to keep watching on the time. If anybody else has additional questions, drop them in the comments and we will take more questions. And if we don't get to all of your questions, Tina and I promise that we will come back and we will answer them after we're done with this particular session. But I want to talk more about you because
you're freaking awesome. And if I want to work with you more, if I want to learn more from you about all of this stuff, you got a couple of options. One is you have a membership.
I do.
I have to look at my notes. Brand Mindset Academy, BMA, right? Okay. Tell us about your membership.
Okay. One of the cool things about having a membership is that you can tweak them, right? So I launched BMA, or Brand Mindset Academy, because I'm a business owner, multiple businesses, but I have really debilitating ADHD. And so what I've learned is I've learned coping mechanisms to run a business with these tricks that I was doing. And so I decided that that's what I was going to push more of. And so that is what Brand Mindset Academy, now I'm doing it. Brand Mindset Academy is about. The tips and tricks on how to run a very fast-paced business with ADHD. So we go over emails and funnels and the tools and Canva and all the social media and all of those things, right? All the things, just keep moving. But there are some folks that need just social media. So I have another option, which is called the BMA Let's Get Social.
Two options. I love it.
Yes, two options. So the Brand Mindset Academy for all the things is it's a weekly meeting. We all come together, we do the things. That's everything. And then Let's Get Social is just the social media. And it's all social, from YouTube to TikTok and Instagram. But I do focus on Instagram because you use one, you put it everywhere else.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So how much are we talking about? So the whole thing is how much a month, and then the shorter version is how much a month?
Yeah. The big one, the Brand Mindset Academy, is $47 a month. And the Let's Get Social is $27 a month.
Got it. So if somebody's out there like me, and I'm like, I need to start doing stories and reels. This would be a good membership for me, because I'm not only going to learn, but is this going to help me get there faster? How is this? I don't want to say convince me, but how does this help me get there, get going with this? Because I have been stalling on this, you all. I have been stalling on reels, and I need help. So this would be right up my alley. Yes,
it would be. And here's why I know. I'm an animal rehabber, but this isn't what I coach, right? I don't coach rehabbing. I probably should at this point just give everything up and go live in the sanctuary, but I'm not going to do that. And I started 2 businesses in order to fund the nonprofit, because it's self-funded, folks. Don't go into a nonprofit blind. And I had to have an Instagram account for my coffee company, and I sell, premium gourmet coffee. So it's not cheap coffee. And I had to embrace Instagram. So I challenged myself, because shiny object syndrome, imposter syndrome, all of the things that make you afraid to go on video, which is why I joined this. And I just did it. It doesn't hurt that I have cute animals. Just going to say, if you have a dog, yeah, I got to use the dog when you have to. But I took my account from about 741 followers, literally when I took this screenshot in January of 2021. And I built that up to 20,000 followers before April, by doing the things that I show other people how to do. I didn't pay for followers, and I'm going to always suggest you never do that, because it hurts you. Actually, it's a vanity number. Don't do it. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for anything. I'm a nonprofit. I'm barely eating over here sometimes. So I knew how to do it. And the next few months after, I was able to maintain. I'm still growing. I'm not as dedicated as I used to be, because I figured out my schedule. Like, I can't post more than X number a week on coffee. I can't post more than X number a week on cosmetics. I have 6 accounts. So, but all together, I'm posting pretty dang consistently. I would not suggest be multi-passionate right out the gate. But if you have ADHD, you don't really understand that rule.
Start with one. Yeah. Okay.
Start with one.
You don't understand that rule.
Right. So, but when you get a pattern, you got to stay consistent. That's key.
That's the key.
So yeah, that's why I'm convincing you. I've done it, and I didn't do it for the sake of being an Instagram star. I did it to feed 100 baby animals.
Yeah.
And it worked. And now I show other people how to do that too.
So it's not just, and this is where I was going to ask, it's not just join the membership and learn how to do this. It's also how do you monetize it? How do you make money this way? Okay. So
Yeah.
that's an important call out. It's an important call out.
I should have
right?
mentioned that. I don't do any of this for fun. My personal account is just so I can follow my TV shows. Because I need to know that why are we going 2 years before the next one comes out, y'all? So that's literally all it's for. I make money on the others. I don't have time to not make money. There's a
Love it.
lot of feeding here. Okay. I
Yeah.
need the money to feed them, and I need the time back to feed
Well,
them.
and yeah, and the time and the supplies. I can't even imagine what it costs to take care of 120 babies.
You don't want to know. Actually,
No.
I see Amazon, Walmart delivery, and grocery deliveries every single day. If they don't come, they leave notes and ask if I'm okay. Okay, we're talking every day.
I get it. Okay, so that's the membership. The link is up above if anybody's interested. And then you also have a Facebook group. So tell us how the Facebook group is different, and that link is up above as well. TKD, I don't know why that is so hard for me to say. TKD Brand Mindset Women Entrepreneur Community.
Yeah, so in that group, I am very bad about posting in there as much as I could be, because I want it just, here's what you need. And that's because my brain is just like, feed me what I need to know. In there, I will give you, here are your top trending audios for the week. Go make your reel, right? Here is what is changing in the algorithm today. Adjust yourself tomorrow. So I don't do a lot of other engagement, like, what's your favorite cereal? Because I don't have time to read them all. I'm probably going to say cereal and then go get some, and I'll forget I posted. So in there is going to be just the juicy stuff.
What you need. It's just what you need. Okay. So it's just what you need. And then for more, join the membership. Join the Brand Mindset Academy. Okay.
Right. So it's sort of like that. It's that intro piece to needing more about the Instagram, or even about, I need to learn funnels and things like that. It's sort of just the gateway into my memberships. I'm teasing you there.
Okay. Let me ask one more question, and then we're going to get into homework, because you all are going to have homework.
Yeah.
We take action here from this show. And we'll talk about what's going to go on. Those of you that are in the Go Live League, we'll talk about what we're going to do over there right after this. Can I start in the membership at the $29 and then bump up when I'm ready to take on the emails and the other stuff?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Good. All right. Question that has come in is, and if this is, how do you go from reels to clients in general? Is there a short answer for that, Tina?
Yes. You build trust.
Trust.
Yep. You're going to earn the follower. They're going to get interested in your hook and your call to action. And if they follow your hook into your call to action, they will become whatever it is that call to action step them in. If they're going to be a member of your email list, a member of your group, whatever it is that they're joining or doing or instructed to do, that's how you will bring them from viewer to follower to client.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. Before we get to homework, let's just cover what's going on for those of you that are in the Go Live League. So we're going to move over to Zoom as soon as we're done here. Don't go yet, because we got to talk about homework, your homework. Okay. But we are going to talk, we're actually going to take action. We're going to do stories. We're going to focus on stories over there. So you're going to help us figure out how to take an idea for a story and create 5 posts, or 5. They're still called stories, right?
Just a post. You post stories.
Post whatever there. So that's what we're going to do today. You're going to do your first story with 5 things.
Yep.
Okay. For those of you that are watching and you're like, but I'm not in the Go Live League, well, join us. It's $1. It's $1 to join us, and you can join us in that session. You can watch it on replay. And then you stay after the 1 month at $1, then it's $27 a month. And not only do you get access to these VIP sessions, there's so much more in this program. I don't want to take up time to talk about it. If you want to talk more about it, message me and I will go on and on and on and on about it. Okay. All right. Homework. What can everybody do today?
Today, you're going to look at whatever you've done today, or whatever you need to do today, or maybe you're releasing something. It's a Memorial weekend. So do you have a sale? Do you have an announcement? Do you just have something you're preparing for? And you're going to break that out into 5 little clips, very short ones. It can be 3 to 5, 10 seconds. Don't go too long, but very short. So maybe you just got something in for your business. You're going to unpack it. You're going to show it being delivered, or being placed on your desk. You're going to unbox it. You're going to take it out and explain what it is. You're going to show us how you use it in your business, and you're going to show the results from it. Maybe it's a new webcam, maybe it's a new journal, or maybe you're going to introduce a recipe in your next blog. You just took us on your shopping trip, right? Tease up to that blog. Tease up to that next product that's about to drop. If it's about, joining the Go Lively, you're going to show struggling on your phone to, do I go live? Do I not? Do I put on my makeup? Do I not? You're just going to tease up to what it is. And if you're just like, I don't have anything right now, you're going to show us a day in the life. I'm a small business owner. Yeah. I've got smoothie on my shirt. The cats haven't been fed, but you know what I'm doing? I've locked, show yourself shutting the door and throwing a fist and get to your desk and set your timer. That's a clip right there. Don't actually set the timer. And then hammering away on your keyboard is one. And then say big stuff coming soon is your last clip. And that could just be a text clip.
So I had to go, I went to Barnes & Noble today because I wanted to look at these, my brand color, these little journals. That could be my story. Me going into Barnes & Noble, me at the checkout, me using my journal. So it's whatever you're doing in that day.
Right.
Convert that into stories. And I know earlier you said spread them out. Don't just do them all in a row. Do them as they're happening.
Record them as they're happening. But one of the things that you want to remember is that a story algorithm is going to, when you look at your feed, you're going to see the bubbles across the top, and the ring around it at the top means it's a new story, right? And so you want to stay relevant and recent. So if the more people participate or react, you're going to use polls and questions. You don't want to just show a video. You want something to take action, right? Okay. That's going to keep engagement up. The more they engage, the further you go to the beginning of that list, and you want to spread it out. And so every 2 hours, you put the next clip.
Every 2 hours.
At some point in the day, it's going to be people can go all the way through. But when they've watched the first one, it pops back in the feed for the second one, back in the feed. Oh, I just hit the mic. Sorry. And for the third one, you want to spread it out.
Got it. And I know you said this before, but remind everybody, 15 seconds is all you need to do.
You don't need to go more than 15 seconds.
No more than even if you can go longer, don't.
Right.
15 seconds.
If your account allows you
seconds is even better, right?
Yeah, 6 to 7. We're not talking stories should be long, especially when you watch the whole thing. You don't want 15 seconds a clip and you put 5 clips out there. People ain't going to give you that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. That's your homework. Do one. Do a story today. Do 5 stories today. That's your homework. And then do it every day.
Except for Saturday and Sunday. You can take a break.
And tomorrow's Saturday. So you only have to do one this week. Okay. So let's talk about my next couple of guests on Beyond the Camera. So I'm moving you all. So we got a little bit of a break, and then Eden Rookstool is going to be on the 16th. She's going to talk about creating content. And then Maggie Olson is going to do how do you take better pictures and photos with your iPhone. She will be on the 30th. So both will be awesome guests. So if you want to mark those on your calendar, do that. Okay. I want to just say to everybody, have a wonderful, happy 3-day. I don't know that happy is the right word since it's Memorial Day, but have a wonderful Memorial Day 3-day weekend. Tina, is there any final words of wisdom? What do you want to leave people with as we end today? Whoa, did we go long? 38 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, Tina, save me from my misery. Wrap us up here.
Aside from just getting out there and doing it, just stay real, consistent, and authentic. Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
Get out there.
Whatever's going on today, good, bad, or ugly, it goes up.
It goes up.
I love it.
That makes you relatable.
I love it. All right. For those of you that Go Live League, we'll see you over in Zoom just as fast as Tina and I can get over there. Everybody else, bye. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Bye, guys.